Greg Chillak and Joan, who were introduced to fans during Season 11 of 90 Day Fiancé, are now stepping into a new chapter of their lives together. After tying the knot on the show, the couple is sharing their hopes, future plans, and the unique challenges they've had to overcome, including navigating cultural traditions and adjusting to life in the United States. A transcontinental connection becomes a commitment. Greg, 35, from New York, and Joan, 27, from Uganda, met and developed a connection that quickly evolved into an engagement. With the K-1 visa in hand, Joan relocated to the U.S. to be with Greg and begin building their future together. However, their new beginning wasn't without complications. Greg was still living with his mother, Lucille, and had yet to establish a strong financial foundation. Joan had imagined a more independent and secure lifestyle upon arriving in America, so sharing a household with Greg's family added unexpected stress early on. In addition to adjusting to her new surroundings, Joan also had to reconcile her cultural expectations with the reality of Greg's situation. For both of them, it became clear that their journey to marriage would take more than love. It would require compromise, understanding, and support from those around them. Honoring traditions, the dowry dilemma. A particularly sensitive topic in their relationship revolved around the dowry, a customary practice in Joan's culture. Her family expected Greg to fulfill the traditional dowry requirement, which in their case was symbolically represented by 15 cows. Greg, already struggling financially, found it difficult to cover both the cost of the wedding and the dowry. The pressure to meet both obligations put a strain on him emotionally. Joan was clear about the importance of honoring this tradition, and Greg wanted to show respect for her background. Fortunately, Greg's parents stepped in to help. They offered to cover the expenses of the wedding ceremony, which freed up Greg's savings to go toward fulfilling the dowry tradition. This act of support not only helped resolve a major concern, but also brought a sense of unity between both families. A modest start to married life. After officially becoming husband and wife, Greg and Joan continued living with Lucille. They revealed during the 90-Day Fiancé tell-all special that they were still working on their long-term goal of moving into their own home. While they were aware that this wasn't an ideal arrangement, they were taking steps to save money and become more independent. One topic that came up during the tell-all was family planning. Greg and Joan shared with host Sean Robinson that while they weren't actively trying to have a child, they also weren't preventing it. Now that they were married, they felt comfortable letting things unfold naturally. Joan was especially open about her readiness to start a family. She expressed her desire to become a mother and said that if it happened sooner rather than later, she would be thrilled. Despite their financial constraints and shared living situation, she felt emotionally prepared for motherhood, a support system among friends. Though they haven't welcomed a child yet, Greg and Joan have found tremendous support through their friendships with other couples from Season 11. Their bond with fellow cast members has been a major source of comfort and encouragement as they navigate the ups and downs of newlywed life in a new country. In June 2025, Greg and Joan shared a post on Instagram expressing their appreciation for their fellow 90 Day Fiancé cast members. Greg wrote, "God bless the Season 11 family," and described their fellow couples as part of one big happy family. He emphasized how meaningful it was to experience the process alongside others who could relate to the same challenges and joys. These relationships have extended beyond the show. The couple has continued to meet up with friends from the franchise, share their lives on social media, and support each other as they each find their footing in post-show life. Putting rumors to rest. Like many reality TV couples, Greg and Joan have been the subject of online speculation, particularly regarding whether or not they're expecting a baby. After fans noticed some physical changes in Joan's photos, rumors began circulating. Rather than letting the chatter build, Joan decided to address it directly on social media. In a lighthearted Instagram story in April 2025, she clarified that she wasn't pregnant and attributed the change in her appearance to adapting to her new American diet. "It's just the food," she joked. Her humorous and honest approach was appreciated by fans, and it offered a small glimpse into how she's adjusting to life in the U.S., including the inevitable dietary and lifestyle changes that come with it. Living in the moment. While they do intend to grow their family eventually, Greg and Joan are taking their time and enjoying the present. They often post updates about their daily lives, hobbies, and get-togethers with friends, many of which showcase their fun-loving, light-hearted nature. Most recently, they spent time with fellow 90-day fiancé couple Mark Bissett and Minna Mack, as well as their daughter Maria. Joan shared photos from their day together and captioned them with a message about how real connections don't always require years of history. Instead, she pointed out, sometimes it just takes a few honest conversations to build something meaningful. It's clear that Greg and Joan are making the most of their child-free phase. Whether traveling, exploring new hobbies, or connecting with their fans and castmates, they're savoring every experience. Working toward independence. Though their journey has had bumps along the way, Greg and Joan continue working on their shared goals, chief among them financial stability and securing their own home. Moving out of Lucille's house is still a priority, and they're focused on saving enough money to establish their independence as a couple. They're also both exploring career opportunities that can help them grow financially. Joan has shown interest in social media and digital content, while Greg is looking into more stable employment to help support their household. These pursuits reflect their commitment not just to one another, but to building a future they can be proud of. Looking ahead, Greg and Joan's journey continues to evolve. From cultural differences and economic challenges to new friendships and family dreams, they've handled their situation with patience, humor, and love. They may not have a baby yet, but they've already taken big steps toward building a life together that honors both of their backgrounds and aspirations. Their story, like so many others on 90 Day Fiancé, is still unfolding. Fans can likely expect more from them, perhaps new milestones, home updates, or even baby news in the future. For now, though, Greg and Joan are embracing the life they're creating together, one moment at a time.